Welcome to this message from the mountain, coming to you from the foothills of the White Mountains here in New Hampshire. Today's podcast is titled, The Return of an Old Friend. Well, I don't know how many of you have favorite gloves, but there's nothing like losing one of your gloves. And I misplaced one or lost one about 3-4 weeks ago. Not an expensive glove, because I have a whole box of gloves. My hands are very sensitive, and I've looked through that I don't know how many different times, and every place I could think of that I was looking for that glove. And it wasn't there, but it was in my mind all the time, and so that's part of the story. The second part is, yesterday when I went out into the back entry room, it was really ice cold, and I got worried and I was afraid the pipe underneath might have frozen, as it did years ago. And so in the middle of the night, I was thinking about, wow, I've got to check this and maybe crawl under to see what it looks like. But in my sense of connections, I'm never alone. So I had a conversation, as I do all the time, with that source that goes with me. And so I thanked it, rather than getting totally hyper worried about it, thanking for it all to be best resolved as best it could. So when I went out this morning, it was cold out there. And I looked behind the little freezer that was up close to the heat. And I looked down, and there was my old friend, my other glove. And at the same time as I checked it out, I could feel heat, except for the heat vent had been closed, or had accidentally closed. So the heat was there, and my glove was back. And this is just the gratitude that I have when I go about my life of little miracles every day, rather than getting caught up in totally fretting and worrying about all these things, just in my mind trusting that it's going to work out for the greater good. And that's the story of the return of the old friend. My name is Michael Hathaway, and this is Message from the Mountain. It is my prayer these words are right and good for you, and if you hear them, thank you so much for listening.